Welcome to the Tech Talk with me, Kazeem. Today we're going to be discussing blockchain all the way, and I have two blockchain enthusiasts with me on the show today. Hi, Rebecca and Yewande.
Hi.
Oh, okay. So I don't think it's news anymore that we're going to be launching the Blockchain Club. That's the last chapter on the 30th of this month. But before we get into the talk of the event, I thought it would be great to educate people a little bit about some of the confusing terminologies used in the blockchain world, right? But first, let's begin things with an introduction. So I'll start with you, Rebecca. Who is Rebecca and what do you do for a living?
Okay, my name is Rebecca Ase. I am the community manager of Bitmama Exchange. It's a cryptocurrency exchange based in Nigeria, and trying to get people to get onboarded on cryptocurrency across Nigeria and Africa. And then I am also a board member of Black Women in Blockchain Council. Black Women in Blockchain Council is an organization that ensures that Black women in general across the world get involved in cryptocurrency and blockchain, as well as in STEM, that is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So that is what I do.
So, and I also have Yewande. So it's over to you now, Yewande. Let's learn a little bit about you.
Oh, I am Yewande. I am a blockchain and cryptocurrency, right? Country manager for Bizlato. Bizlato is a P2P exchange as well, and we're based in the Russia, and then in the African region. So that's basically what I do as well.
Okay. All right. So I think I'm going to start with you, Rebecca. You know, hearing some of this blockchain terminology confuses me in person, right? But since you are here now, and I also have Yewande right on the show, so hopefully both of you are going to help us throw a little bit more light on some of this gray area around blockchain. So let's start with definitions, right? What is blockchain, Rebecca, and what gap do you see that blockchain helps fill?
If I'm going to define blockchain and not confuse you, I have to do it with simple definitions and simple terms. So one of the things I'll say about the blockchain is that the blockchain is known as the fourth revolution. It is also called distributed ledger tender. So the blockchain is an immutable, transparent, traceable technology. So one of the easiest way for me to explain what the blockchain is to use an example of a thrift collector. Now, most of us in Africa, we have in Nigeria, we are familiar with something they call ajo or osusu. So if you are familiar with osusu and ajo, it means that you are, in a sense, you will understand what the blockchain is. So a thrift collector, when it comes to collect, from you, like if people have watched the movie Alaja Shomulu and they are familiar with, that movie, when the thrift collector comes to collect money from you, he gives you a card. You register with the card. Then the thrift collector has his own database, which is his own big book. Now on his book, he registers that you paid. On your card, it marks that you paid. So the both of you have data that a transaction took place. Now, unlike just two people having that data, the blockchain technology decentralizes data. So instead of two people just holding data, in the fact that if one person misplaces the data, the other person will be like, me too, it's 5,000 I contributed, whereas the person contributed 2,000 naira. And then the thrift collector cannot confirm if he contributed 2,000 or 5,000 naira. So what the blockchain technology does is that it decentralizes data. So we have something they call nodes. Nodes are computers. So these computers hold the data of every transaction that takes place on the blockchain. And in fact, it is these computers that validate the transaction. So these computers are spread across the world. So let's say you have 1 million computers all over the world that are, validating every transaction that takes place, building blocks. They have to solve, a particular mathematical, algorithm to ensure that they get answers to those your transactions, which is complicated, but let's just keep it simple. So now those computers validate each transaction and have a record that yes, this transaction took place. So it is going to be difficult for somebody to say, oh, a transaction did not take place, whereas a transaction took place. Another thing the blockchain technology does is that it cuts out the middleman from, transactions. So instead of going through the bank, then the bank goes through sometime, like the bank goes through Visa and MasterCard to validate our payment. Instead of going through all that route, it enables people carry out their transaction from person to person directly. So that is what the blockchain technology does. So it enables people carry out transactions directly from person to person instead of having to go through, and then the blockchain is immutable. You cannot change your transaction once it has taken place on the blockchain. To do that, you have to go, like, just take a look at the name, blockchain. So it's a building of blocks. And then if you want to destroy any transaction that has already taken place, you have to now go to the foundation, which of course, it's not easy to remove one block from a block of fence without destroying the entire fence. So that is how the blockchain works.
Okay, thank you very much for that clarity. There are other terminologies that I hear throughout around a lot when it comes to blockchain, right? So one of these terminologies is Bitcoin and blockchain. So is it correct to use one of these two terms interchangeably? Because I see people using it interchangeably, right? Sometimes Bitcoin, blockchain, it all means the same thing. So is it correct to use them interchangeably? And if not, what do you see is the difference between these two?
Okay, so instead of using Bitcoin and blockchain, it is correct to use Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So now Bitcoin is not blockchain, but Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. It's just like saying dollar and money. Dollar is money, right? But dollar is not gold. Blockchain is the foundation on which Bitcoin is built on and every other cryptocurrency. So we have over 7,000 cryptocurrencies currently. So it's not just Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is the father of cryptocurrency. So it's like Indomie or Close Up. Now, people would say, buy me Close Up, and then you go out and then you come back with McLean's.
Yeah.
But you know what they want. But they just, it's a general, because it's the first toothpaste that we became familiar with. Everybody just calls all toothpaste Close Up, and everybody calls all noodles Indomie, because that was the first one we were familiar with, right? So Bitcoin is not the blockchain. Bitcoin is a use case of the blockchain. The blockchain has so many use cases. The blockchain can be used for storing identity. It can be used for traceability. People who do shipping across the country, they can use the blockchain to track their goods from start to finish. Most farmers are beginning to get into the blockchain recently, and then they are using the blockchain to track products from farm to table. That's to know that, okay, this pineapple you are eating, the pineapple comes all the way from Edo State, or this mango you are eating came all the way from Benue State. You can know because, it has been tracked from farm down to your table. So, and then what it does is that it helps the farmers also get benefit from their produce. So instead of the farmer selling to a middleman at a loss and then his product just going to waste, the farmer gets benefit. So the blockchain can be used for so many things: health records, even tracing, tracking wildlife that are going extinct and ensuring that these wildlife are not hunted. They can put a tracker on those wildlife, and then the blockchain would help store that data online. The blockchain also can be used for voting. It can be used to ensure that voting is traceable, voting is transparent, and it is not tampered with. So the blockchain, as much as I would not like to use the word tamper-proof, it's somewhat tamper-proof. So that is, what the blockchain can do. But Bitcoin is a use case of the blockchain. So Bitcoin is like the financial aspect of the blockchain, the monetary aspect, because we also have another use cases on the blockchain, which is the DeFi. DeFi means decentralized finance. That is also built on the blockchain, and that is different from cryptocurrency. But just not to make people get confused, Bitcoin is a use case of the blockchain. Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency, and that one has its own definition entirely.
Okay, thank you very much for that. I think it would be nice, maybe in one of these future episodes of the Tech Talk, to have a segment where you can walk us perhaps through a practical application of some of those things that I'm hearing from you now. So what I'm able to deduce from this is that Bitcoin is an example of blockchain, right?
A use case.
A use case of blockchain. Okay, okay. Thank you very much, and I hope you guys don't leave me out of this blockchain revolution as well, Rebecca and Yewande.
We won't. We won't.
All right. Okay, so this is how much we've got time for on today's episode of the Tech Talk with me, Kazeem. So let's do continue to keep safe, and we'll do this again another time. So from myself, Yewande, and Rebecca, it's a bye-bye.
Bye.